Here's the playwright. Let's give her a hand. As I said before you came in, I'm so glad that you're here today so that we can say thank you to you for this work and for knocking it out of the park for us and for pushing us to a place of thinking more deeply about the nature of relationship, the power of a lie, to turn life upside down, the need to be important and successful, being more important in your relationships with people, the sense that you will somehow become a big person if you're able to provide people with all kinds of things, even if they're based on lies. And then ultimately, bringing it back full circle to the fact, as he said, you can always get new friends, but you can't get new old friends. And that there's some redemption and forgiveness in the midst of all of the pain that was suffered. There's something about having shared this experience that will bond them for life, even though there's anger and rage under the surface about it. Nobody else has had that experience but the three of them. And so forever and ever they will know that. And most of all, it's the four of them who are bonded together because it's the dead brother who's always in the picture. And each one of them is bound to each other through the hub of that wheel that is the dead brother to whom they made the promises about how they would always stay together. And I think you brought up the fact that life is so incredibly complex and complicated. Nothing's easy, nothing's simple. There are no simple answers to things. There are no simple pieces to relationship. And there is something that is very important about the power of forgiveness. I thought that last scene about I wanted to blame you for what happened to me when indeed I needed to blame me, because I'd done some things that were wrong and I had not faced into them. Sometimes it takes 15 or 16 years of bending back on your experience to be able to own your responsibility in the things that have been difficult. So, that to me is a place to start. Who are you? And what does it mean to be in relationship with one another? What is the power of a lie to turn life upside down? What is the power of redemption? Oh, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
You guys were incredible.
Thank you. The first thing I believe, I told Nikkole this already, I was very surprised that a woman composed this play. It seemed to have incredible insight into how men interact, when you're in private. Been on those trips with my buddies and all that. And then to even have a 1996 Tupac reference to the 14th song of the first CD is
wow. To the actors, you really made us feel comfortable as watching you perform because it came so natural, and you sucked us in. Even if we were intimidated initially by the language, it was almost like, yeah, this is reality. This is what the verbiage is for this time. But I want to go back to that later on for a second. Secondly, Nikkole, I think you should be commended for the fact that we can all recognize certain things. That is, not only can we reflect in our own lives that we have people in them like the three actors portrayed. We all know someone that gets us into trouble. We all know someone we're always trying to get them out of trouble. And we always know the nephew or the son that's a little bit, I'm me, I'm the bomb, I'm so masculine, I want it all, and by 23 I'm going to be a millionaire. We all can identify with that. That was important.
I think since you mentioned that you grew up without male representation basically in your life, how did you manage to get the voices so well? It's just amazing to me that you were able to capture this.
How did I explain it to someone? It's like whenever you're the outskirted population, you're always forced to listen to them.
Exactly.
So we all know Superman's story. We all know those Western stories. We're all taught to empathize with those guys, right? this story, this urban male story, is what that's what I hear. We hear it. And it may not be like a mainstream thing where you get to see the humanity of it all the time. It's usually the stereotype of it. But that's, I don't have to, it's like it's like when you see women play men. Women play men all the time. Men caricature women. But women play men.
Exactly.